The Green New Deal crazies are at it again. Massachusetts far-left senator and environmental extremist Ed Markey is blaming Trump and climate change for the deadly forest fires in LA. Now, it is currently under investigation, but the latest theory suggests these fires in the Palisades were started by celebratory New Year's Eve fireworks. But, of course, according to Ed Markey, these are symptoms of a warming planet. Markey is accusing Trump, who is not in office yet, for teaming up with big oil to kill the Green New Deal, jump-starting the death and destruction in California. The far left will do anything to take accountability for their actions, or take no accountability, rather, for their actions on the failed policies that led to an incompetent show pony governor in Sacramento and no water in the fire hydrants. Will Democrats continue to put these accusatory statements ahead of doing what is right for the people of California? Will the public fall for it? Joining us now, Congressman from Georgia's 7th District, U.S. Marine and Dr. Rich McCormick. Welcome back.
Good to be with you today. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you back. What's your response to Senator Markey and his colleagues who are now changing the narrative around this fire to really divert it away from Democrats?
Yeah, well, that's what they always do. When you don't do what's responsible, when you don't do things to actually shore yourself up against something that was predictable. When I lived in California, stationed there as a Marine, we had fires then as well. California is a very dry place, lacking in water, lacking in a plan, a visionary plan to keep fires from happening in these neighborhoods. You can't keep celebrities from firing off fireworks, but I tell you what, you suffer your own consequences. You're now seeing people set fires on purpose so they can loot places in California.
Right.
But quite frankly, when you talk about global warming, it has nothing at all to do with this. This is where the warp science comes in. There's a really good book by a guy named Koonin, Koonin, who wrote a book called Unsettled. Now, he was a Democrat, and he's a physicist, and he was on Obama's Climate Change Commission. He wrote a very good book showing that since the advent of humans' intervention or impact on climate, yes, you may have a little bit higher carbon content, but actually the overall benefits have been good for humankind. We've had higher crop productions. We've had fewer hurricanes. We've had fewer people that have died in catastrophes. When you talk about carbon dioxide as a portion of the atmosphere, you're talking about 0.04% of the atmosphere, of which only 11% of that is produced by humans. We need to have a realistic conversation about what's happening in our environment, how we're going to shore ourselves up against future climate change, whether it's man-made or not, but it's certainly not in reducing our carbon imprint and putting us at a disadvantage when compared to the rest of the world. It makes no sense. They want to put us in the poorhouse and not make the United States the leaders of the world like we are.
Let me ask you this. In terms of the reaction, you may or may not know the answer to this, but why did it seem to take so long for Governor Newsom to call up the National Guard in this case? It seems like they were utilizing prisoners to fight fires, less experienced people, and they did not really call up the National Guard, which I thought was what you would normally do if you're in a state of emergency, as clearly this seemed to be. Why not call the Guard sooner?
Yeah, a super slow reaction, coupled with probably concerns over his budgetary process. I know California is always hamstrung on their budget because they spend way too much on illegal people who come there, on people who milk the system instead of working. They don't have a system set up for success. They tax the top bracket of income earners at 57% when you combine federal and state taxes. This guy has no idea what he's doing, but what I hear is he's gearing up to write a book and release that and tour and start campaigning for 2028 to be the president of the United States. Oh, everybody's paying attention to what this guy is actually really about. He's a smooth talker, but he is not good at managing.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.